To me, DART is a whole bunch of unknowns. It means be prepared for the unexpected.
A DART is a disaster assistance response team.
When there is a disaster somewhere in the world, that team mobilizes and we go out to respond to that disaster.
You get the call and your mind is immediately racing, focused on what this response will be like, things I need to do with my family to prepare them for me to be gone. Usually we deploy within hours.
It's a challenge to be in one place and then so suddenly to be headed out and to do something completely different for oftentimes you don't know how long you'll be gone.
Some people, I think, I've had this discussion with other DART members, they're adrenaline seekers, they're ER doctors, they're ER nurses. I'm a family practice doctor. I kind of like things to go smoothly and people to be healthy, and I think I really go because God's calling me to go.
I have to know from the outset that Joe is called and he's equipped and he's skilled and he's passionate. My part is to be a support, to be in tune with who God is and how he's wired my husband.
The opportunity to be on a DART is to love.
You need to be abiding, I cannot stress this enough, abiding with Christ every single day, because you don't know when the call's gonna come. And if you're not spiritually in a good place, there is no way you can pour out of an empty cup.
If you subscribe to bad things don't happen to good people, or the universe is fair, you're gonna be shocked and you're gonna be rocked to the core of your belief system. And so it's so important as you prepare to go on a DART that you would get into the scriptures and find out what God says about suffering and why it's here, and our role as the church in that, and how we comfort others. I mean, I think that's huge as far as preparing yourself to go.
You hear the sirens. You hear the sirens of ambulances. You hear the sirens of the Coast Guard. And you know when there's been a boat that capsized. You know when there's been drownings. You know when the body bags are coming on shore. And there's nothing we can do. That has been my singular, even looking back of all the places I've been, most difficult place and situation that I've encountered so far.
This young girl, she came to our field hospital clinging to life. One of her legs was nearly blown off and she had shrapnel all over her body, and I can still visually, right at this moment where I sit now, almost a year later, still see her and how sick and near death she was. She had a surgery and she had to have her leg amputated. She had lost her entire family and she was so traumatized. And she was so fearful of us because she had lived under ISIS rule for a long time, and they had told them that we were evil and to fear us and that Christians were bad. So on top of everything she had been through, she was also so afraid of us. But I'm a mom, and I just tried to inch my way into her life, and she let me after a lot of time. And I was able to sit next to her and comfort her when she would sob and cry, and to be able to hold her hand and wipe her tears away and kiss her head like a mom would was really impactful. Made me feel like I was there making a difference.
When we are responding to someone's disaster, a huge part of that disaster is what's going on in their heart and their mind. Even if it's just the kindness in our eyes, the gentleness in our touch, the warmth that they hear in our words, that's huge. I love the opportunities that it affords me to both meet people's physical needs, but also be part of meeting their spiritual needs.
We want to be up close. We want to feel their pain and their trauma and be right there with them. But it helps me if I'm feeling exceptionally crushed or devastated to sort of pull back and ask God for the bigger picture.
It's necessary to be somewhat removed from it so that you're not completely overwhelmed and incapacitated by it, to give the help that you're there to provide.
I think being realistic is a huge part of it, understanding my limitations and being able to be okay with that. Otherwise, you're going to get torn apart.
Your emotions are going to be pretty raw when you get back.
A reflective time is so necessary for us to be able to re-enter well.
You know, my friends and family do struggle to understand what it's like. They struggle with what questions to ask even. And it seems so other to them that it's difficult to kind of find common ground again. And it takes time to reestablish that and patience on both sides, I would say.
Let's pray. Lord, we pray over this area.
I think the biggest thing I could say is try to find those people on your team that you can relate to, that you can talk to when you get back, that you can call, that you can text, that you can kind of touch bases with, because people won't necessarily understand. They'll try to understand, but they won't truly understand unless they experience some of what you did.
Definitely working alongside the team is one of the best parts of doing DART.
DART is a really powerful way to be able to serve. You get to live out the Bible in real life, and you get to do it with a bunch of really awesome people in the most needy of situations.
The help we are bringing is because of Jesus and in His name.
I can't imagine any other organization who puts such emphasis on bringing the gospel along with good quality relief work.
It changes you for the better. It brings you closer to Christ.
There is something very compelling about being in a life or death situation. There's something transcendent about feeling like what you're doing has purpose and moment by moment matters. And that's deeply satisfying. And I think something that even if we haven't articulated it for ourselves, that we all long for.